Hello and welcome everybody to Let's Play 35 plus years of Advanced Squad Leader. It is Monday. It is we're starting off February, or I guess more continuing February, whatever. Unfortunately, it is a solo night tonight as Rob is still indisposed again, and as always, I hope everything is going well, Rob, with you and yours. Um, so I figured I might as well look into a scenario that was skipped that we didn't want to really touch on, and then we were gonna just end up playing some other Danish stuff and essentially bypass this one for a while. And since I now have a free night, you know what? Let's do this. Let's see. Let's see how much damage I can cause myself, psychically, over all this. So today's scenario is scenario CH-137. As longtime viewers might know, this stands or will stand for a critical hit scenario, specifically assault on Fornebu. Now, this scenario involves gliders, and gliders are always that sort of, they've got a little bit of mystery to them. So we're going to try and essentially uh, play with them and not go insane with how the rules work with them. We're going to do this two ways. The first is by checking out essentially the guide, the play table that exists that people can check out and look at. Hopefully, I remember the glider rules from last time we did this or last time that it crept up. And if I don't, well, again, apologies for that. We'll through habit, I will I will remember at some point. Um, so yeah, gonna do gliders. The gliders have some specific rules. The scenario is not necessarily super cut and dry, but it's fairly accessible at the very least in terms of what needs to be done and how the forces come in and all that. Really, the gliders is the only thing that will kind of cause people to have some consternation over. And frankly, I think gliders are interesting enough that everybody should try to play them at least a couple times. Now, some of the important parts here, this scenario is only 5.5 turns, which does not give the Germans a lot of space to do stuff. We'll get to why I say that in just a short moment. But it is rather important that there's that as an issue, or that as a condition. There's a lot of special scenario rules, so I'm gonna try and get through this ASAP here. But do note that it's not my choice that it is extremely long-winded. I should probably do this, and there we go. Viola. Do I have the return? We got snipers again. Yay! Not that I thought that would never come back, but it was a little sad to not have snipers last time. So to have snipers again is always a welcome tradition. And sadly, the Norwegians have very low ELR. In fact, this time around, compared to the last time that we were doing a Norwegian defensive scenario, this one has only green troops for the Norwegians, so they're very limited in their capabilities. And not only that, but their ELR is 2, so they really do not have much of a leg to stand on. Granted, it's not 0 or 1, which is always great, but obviously every time you go down one ELR number anyways, that really starts to cause problems as it mounts. So SAN of 2, which I don't think will really, probably not going to get any snipers for the Germans today, but such is life. So in this scenario, it is gusty with a mild wind from the northwest. These are things I have to get more counters out for. It's very important to note these sorts of things because if you are playing with gliders, you have to follow the wind. This says from the northwest. Yep, no, that's how it's played. Ground snow is present. There is a mist 1 LV out there. So yeah, like I was saying, it's very important to figure that sort of stuff out because again, um, if you don't pay attention to the direction of the wind or if there's gusts, all that sort of stuff, it really can cause problems with how you eventually go through the scenario. I think it's probably obvious by now if if you've been watching for a while, but I think it bears repeating that getting the conditions right is always important, and you should pay attention to it. Now, I don't believe they set a modifier for the weather. It says gusty mild wind, but I'm going to put it as ground snow because ground snow is present, so EC -3. If that's incorrect, well, Critical Hit can start double checking their scenario rules here, and yeah. Now, a couple other things to note, at least for weather specifically here. So in this scenario, there is an open ground hex that gets placed, and I believe it essentially removes. So N5 is open ground, O5 is open ground, and then P4 and do they write? Why would they write G4H4? G4 and H4. Oh, they're treated as runway hexes. Why would they not have? Okay, well, I gotta add some extra. Well, I guess I'll just put rows or something. What makes the most sense here? What looks the best? We'll just do this. So yeah, there's some extra runways, which is going to be nice, and I'm just gonna play it as is because I figure I probably should have known that they would add something like this, but here we are. There we go. So yeah, we have our extra runway hexes. Again, I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why you would elongate that. You could just flip the board, but maybe they didn't want to do that. I don't know. Either way. So we have a slightly longer than normal runway. Important to note that the Norwegians have some heavy machine guns. This is mostly to be able to affect the gliders, if I'm not mistaken. But they do have a higher breakdown number, so it's not necessarily worthwhile to go after them. But maybe I'm also just being overly cautious on that one. And then we have a bunch of stuff for our gliders. So the gliders all come in as 25 portage point capacity. This means that you can actually fit all the units on top of them. I know the gliders that are currently on screen say 19 portage points. I believe the 25s would be... It might be British ones. I don't think it's the American ones. Either way, I just figured we'll keep in theme with the colors here, just to better representation. Now, on beginning on the German player turn following landing, they may move as if they were trucks for 6 movement points for that turn only, and then treat as a mobile truck thereafter. So essentially, you try to land wherever. We'll say G4. I land in J4 because of wind and all that distribution. And then after it's considered landing, you can then go, K5 for 1. Well, truck, open ground, and snow is 4 or 3. I always forget. If I go to my terrain chart, truck, open ground is 4. So yeah, you can go like 1 extra hex, maybe 2, depending on where you are, what you're doing. Which is important because that extra hex can be the difference between landing in J7 and J8. If you're not adjacent to a Norwegian unit and you have access to 2 buildings, it's pretty nice. So these glider transport aircraft not only have the 6 movement points that we just talked about, they're considered extra large targets, which means They have a +2 on the 2 hit against them. They're unarmored, which makes sense. They're just gliders. And they can't use bypass movement. I don't know why you would ever be able to convince yourself otherwise. They can become burning wrecks, and they can become immobilized on a specific crash die roll. You can only have one per hex, so you can't. Very similar to normal gliders, you can't just stack all your gliders into the same hex. You got to choose other hexes. They have a 3 firepower AAMG. So I believe this is supposed to reflect more the assault gliders. I don't know why they wouldn't just call them the assault gliders. I'm trying to remember what the name is offhand, and I'll probably end up looking it up. But very interesting design where, yeah, they essentially just had an MG34 that was like stuck in the nose that the co-pilot would activate. Unless it's the other one where it's like on top from a hatch. Anyways, still weird designs nonetheless. They can also not be scrounged, so the 3 firepower is specifically get the most use out of it. It's an AA machine gun, so it can rotate on itself, and that is rather interesting because of the just the nature of having a stationary machine gun that you might want to actually spend some time trying to destroy as the Norwegians. You can't voluntarily abandon them, which makes sense. They have an inherent crew, and they have a crew survival of 7. So essentially, they're treated as trucks in that regard as well. Now, all initial landing hexes, these are things that we have to worry about for gliders. They have to be runway hexes, so you can't just choose to land in AA6. You have to pick something like M6, G4, H8 as examples. You either approach in a northeast or northwest direction. You can't get around that, which is pretty nice that that sort of thing is being dictated. Gives you an idea as to what you should expect, especially moving around and all that shenanigans. I also realize I'm not doing a log file, and I should probably start that. There we go. So yeah, you have to approach from a northeast or northwest direction. Add 1 to the crash die roll if you're landing on a non-runway hex. Yeah, essentially just, wherever you're landing, be careful, blah, blah, blah. Only 2 medium, Jesus. Multi-man counters may set up adjacent to runway hexes, which I guess technically that means I need to move a guy. So we'll move that guy there. For whatever reason, I thought that was more they couldn't set up adjacent to each other. But anyways, so only 2 guys can set up adjacent to the runway hex. This actually makes it feel a lot more fair than the last time played, where you had many, many more troops that could be adjacent or watching everything essentially. There's also more buildings in this, so that is a thing. All Norwegian units are pinned on game turn 1, which is actually very important, and I didn't realize that was a thing. It's actually probably a broken thing to force them to be that, because them being pinned, I'm pretty sure means they won't be able to shoot at gliders as they land. Which, hey, you know what? If you can justify it with, like, Stukas came in and bombed a bunch of guys, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and that's on game turn 1. So, strangely, it's not player turn 1, like German player turn 1, which seems to imply it would be full game turn 1, so they don't lose pin until turn 2. But maybe I'm not correct on that one. And then lastly, do not place German sniper until the start of the Norwegian player turn 1. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to try. I'm going to hope and pray that I remember that that I don't forget. Also, I am realizing something, and I hate it because I hate when they don't activate that first and they don't draw it on the maps. Do I seriously need to crop these boards? I have to crop these boards. Okay. All right, folks. Let's see what kind of damage I'm actually in. Oh, no. All right, well, that changes a lot, and especially with the rule, that's not cool at all. All right, you go there, and you are going to go here. I don't like this at all. Uh, I really don't like this at all. Okay, well, there we go. That's all I can do. So I was not expecting it to only be hex rows A through P, especially since it's 5.5 turns. I was expecting the extra distance because there's a lot of turns. Turn 1 would be a bust for the Germans because they have to get out of the gliders, but then you have 4 turns at least to move or of movements. So, you know, you can kind of finagle your way to locations. But yeah, apparently the map is a lot shorter. Why is this important? Well, the Germans win at game end if they control all buildings on board 14, exception building C1. I do not understand why that's an exception. If you're going to cut half that board, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess technically P1 is 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hexes that you have to grab. Which, yeah, that seems kind of crazy. But hey, you know what? We're here. We're gonna have to try and deal with it. So that is it for the explanation. Sorry that it's so long-winded, but that's what happens when you have critical hit, and also when you're starting to get into your glider stuff. So with gliders, as always, there is our turn 1 stuff, our turn 2 stuff. So my turn 2 stuff is still off board. My turn 1 stuff is over here, just to make it simpler. The Norwegians have 2 units that have to set up on the hill on board 11. I think this is what also screwed me up, is because I believe it says on any hill. Yeah, any hill hex of board 11. So technically you could set up even into K9. There's literally no point to ever do that, but you could. Yeah, and since the buildings on board 11 don't matter, you could almost get rid of the bottom board and you'd be fine. Which, you know, thinking about it now, I'm surprised they didn't do that. But whatever, we're like I said, we're doing this that way, and we're just gonna have to deal with it. So let me see if I can remember this as, you know, as it exists, and do this correctly. So before the turn, we settle our reinforcements. We know that the reinforcements are coming. They are 3 gliders, and we have it so that the gliders do not ever go exceed their maximum. So what that means is that single man counters are 1 portage point, squads are 10, half squads are 5, and LMGs and support weapons are what they are marked. So in this glider, it's 22. In this glider, it's 21. In this glider, it's 22. So nobody is above the threshold of 25. Cool. Everything is split so that I've got one item that I really want in every group. So losing one will suck, but I don't want to stack everybody in one glider and then lose that glider and I have lost all effectiveness. So I got a medium machine gun, a negative leader, and a leader with an LMG. To me, that feels like a great split. Same thing in the second turn stuff. So DM mortar, I don't want the DM mortar to be with the -1 leader because the leader is good. The mortar will be great if I can set it up, but otherwise I don't care about it. And then I have an LMG and a leader. If for whatever reason I'd ever decided to get rid of the mortar just by not bringing it along, I would have split the support weapon and the leader and put one guy over there. Yeah. Now, because there's no rally phase, I still have to do weather. Got nothing special. which is great. I'm going to take a drink of something before I die of thirst. And promptly get water all over my face and clothes as it explodes on me. So there's no rally phase stuff, and there's no prep fire stuff, because again, I'm in gliders. There's nothing for me to do. So in the movement phase, the gliders are placed on board. They are facing the wind direction on avenue approach to the initial landing hex. Now, I don't have to worry about paratroopers in this instance, which is nice. Yeah. So for this this scenario, how do I want to do this? So I think best thing here is I want I'm 4 away or 5 away. Yeah, 5 away. So let's do. Ooh boy. Let's do this guy and this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I can choose this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can choose, and this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's do this. Okay. Now, since everybody is pinned, I don't believe I can shoot. I mean, maybe it's different for gliders, but I don't think I can do anything against them as they land. Again, because I'm pinned. Let's double check this. I'll see if I can find a rule here that would maintain that. If I can maintain that. So defensive first fire. I guess it not. Wait. Swamping, dropping. Yeah, no. Okay, so I could potentially shoot, but I am halved. So the 6 firepower goes down to a 3. Is that really worth it? 3 firepower, I would need a 4 or less. And a 10 breaks them. I don't think I'm going to risk it. I think there's enough chance for, crashing and all that anyways that I'm not too worried about it right now. So, in the moving phase, the gliders are placed on board. Again, they face the wind direction. In this one, I'm allowed to face northeast or northwest, which is what I'm doing with my gliders. There is an initial and an intended landing hex, which, you know what? Was that... Yeah, I kind of wish I had a... I'm going to put some annotations here so that I'm not getting too crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5. And 2, 5. There. That way I have an idea of what the heck's going on here. So if you're in a building, a pillbox, or blind hex, you can't shoot at the gliders, which is not the case. I'm just not going to do any shots whatsoever. It also means I don't have to do any evasive action. There's no chance of anything being damaged or blowing up or whatever. But I do have to do a landing die roll. So we'll just do in order. Now I'm forgetting what I had here. So when I'm looking at this, I'm pretty sure I had these guys on this one. I had these guys on this one. And these guys on this one. I'm just going to put them in the open ground. Because I want units to take out these woods. I want this guy to get in here and form a base of fire. And I need this guy to get into these buildings. That's my thought process behind it. Maybe I could put the glider into like G4 and try to assault this foxhole, but whatever. I'm at where I'm at right now, and I don't feel like it makes that much sense to keep changing. So, how do we do this? We roll a die roll. Wow, okay. Normally that doesn't happen. So, if you when you roll 2 die for landing, excuse me, if the colored die roll in the roll is a 1, you land in your initial hex. So my guy lands there. Let's delete this. So I land in this hex. If the white die roll is less than 3, you miss large, so you go further. If it's 4 or greater, you land short. There's also some DRMs. So in this, the colored DRMs per each consecutive hex along the avenue of approach that is clear of an obstacle where whose topmost height is equal to or greater 1 level higher than the base level of the initial landing hex. In this case, I'm just landing on the runway, so there's no change. It's just a straight line. So I would essentially have -4, I believe, or -5. And then you get +1 if there's any obstacles, that sort of thing, which there isn't. So I will land in 05 with no modifier, or at least I should not have any modifier, because again, there's no... I'm just landing in the initial landing hex. Now, I can, if I wanted to, I could try to push my luck and go 1 further. I don't really know if there's a point to that, but I'll do it anyways, because I do get the extra movement. And if we look back at the special scenario rules, there's +1 to the colored crash die roll if landing on a non-runway hex. Now, thankfully, in its avenue of approach from J7 up to where it ended, there is no extra. It's not landing anywhere in a non-runway hex. So I'll roll my die roll 3. If we look at any of the DRMs, it's not damaged. It's not landing in its it is landing in its initial landing hex or final initial whatever. So that's not a problem. It's not a night landing. I am in gusts, so there is a +1. There's no crazy stuff like shell holes or trenches or anything, so don't have to worry about that. Same thing with orchards or stone walls, graveyards, etc. No woods, buildings, etc. And no swamp. So I only have a +1, which means that I avoid the crash. So these guys will be there, except not revealed yet. And I believe they are concealed. I don't think they lose concealment just yet. And also, I need to remember I have a 3 firepower machine gun. I should state an AA machine. And I also get to flip this on its... There you go. On its green side. So now this basically says it has landed. It is stationary. It now has, if it burns or blows up or whatever, the guys can try to jump out. It also provides +1 hindrance to anybody trying to shoot at them. So that's the first glider successfully landed. I'm going to worry about shooting at it and all that afterwards. We'll do P8 next. So same idea. I'm trying to land. I'm not going to shoot at it. So there's no defensive or evasive action that needs to be taken. Roll 2 die. Now I didn't get a colored 1. So for now, we do the landing colored DRM changes. So in this, I have 3 hexes that are clear between the any obstacle and the initial landing hex. So I get a -3, which will bring my colored die roll to a 1, and then there's no full level. The wall is only a stone wall, so it's only half level. So I get to land in my initial hex. I have not missed, which is very lucky for me. Now, again, I can choose to drive it like a truck, so I will move it 1 hex into J6. I believe this means that I am not landing... I'm not entirely in a runway hex, so I will be adding a +1 to my crash die roll, I believe is how it works. Let's just see here. For that only... Following landing. Okay. So you do the landing first, and then you do the movement. Okay. So it means I do the die roll. I'm not getting any +1s for not landing in the initial landing hex. There's a +1 for gusts, so it goes up to 3, I believe it is. But otherwise, there's no other modifiers. So they are fine. They will move 1, and they will turn into their grounded version with everybody quote unquote safely inside. And we can take off that marker. And then lastly, we have this glider over in D10. Same problems or issues. They have 3 hexes clear. So that will give them -3 to their colored landing die roll. However, they rolled a 6, which means I am going to miss. And then I am going to miss short. Now, when I look at this, what modifiers exist here? Okay, I don't believe that's the modified stuff. So I need to... We'll overshoot. Wait a minute. Do they have that backwards? Hold on here. I need to check my PDF rulebook and see what it says here, because that's going to be really annoying if that's not the case. Was it F4? Cool. Let's go to miscellaneous and gliders. So avenue of approach. Landing to land in its final initial landing hex, which, God, I hate that wording. Yep, okay, so you overshoot if it's greater than or equal than or greater than 4. So the PDF, the what's supposed to be the landing chart helping thing is backwards. Cool. I mean, it's only affecting me now, so that's not an issue. So the glider misses its initial landing hex, long or short, by 1 hex for every number greater than 1 on its final landing colored die roll. So, so I rolled a 6, and then we did the minus of 3, brings it down to a 3. There's no other modifier in this case to that roll. Oh, you know what? I wonder if... no, clear of an obstacle, so I can't imagine that would not count. Whose topmost is 1 or... Does that mean there is no modifier for hedges? That... Because it is 1 level higher than the base level hex. Okay, let me see if there's... Do I see anything here? Obviously, the one example that they have does not show hedges, which is great. Nor do any other examples they have. Cool. So I'm going to assume that because it specifically says obstacle that are 1 or greater level height advantage than the initial landing hex, which means that a hedge is only half, which means it does not add to that. which is kind of silly. You'd think that, I mean, I guess you could just float over them, blah blah blah, but it kind of feels like walls and such should play a role in that. Either way, it just means that I land in I-8 and I will not have any issues to that. I'm landing in the runway hex, so I will just do the die roll. I get a 3. There's +1 for gusts. It's 4. There's no modifier. There's no other modifier, I should say, which means that there is no damage. There's no injury. There's no nothing. I then get to choose if I want to increase this by 1. In fact, I might choose. Let's go here. Let's say I'm going there, and we'll pretend that this is safe. Cool. I also need to do AMG. Cool. Okay, this is what happens when you have to relearn glider rules. Not that I'm disappointed or sad about that, but apologies if it seems like it takes a while. Gliders are fun, don't get me wrong, but it is always a learning experience when you haven't touched them in a while. So that is it for the movement phase. You can't leave the gliders in the movement phase that you land. You have to wait until the because they technically, the units do not exist until the advanced fire phase. So now in the defensive fire phase, I could take shots at gliders and stuff. I may want to take a shot with this guy because it is doubled halved. So it's still 6 firepower against the glider. Now, unfortunately for me, I have rolled doubles, which I will cower, and it's not. There's no minuses here, so it's not enough to do anything. Not really a good trade, to be honest, but I was kind of hoping maybe for better. Especially since I'd rolled really well on a couple of the glider rolls. So, anyways. So nothing happens there. I don't necessarily know if I want to chance any other shots here. This guy's just a squad, and he's halved. Might not be worth it, especially trying to blow up a glider. So I think I'm going to wait. Now, advanced fire phase happens. All of the contents of the gliders are revealed or unloaded or placed on the map, however you want to mentally calculate that. Yeah, so they are placed on board after resolving the consequences of all damage results. None of the gliders are damaged, so this is where you might have like a leader is wounded or someone's dead, etc. But we don't have to worry about that, which is nice. Oh, I guess technically there was also a +1 for LV hindrance. Whatever, didn't matter. Okay, so at this point, the passengers assume their own morale, firepower, and the leadership characteristics for the first time, and are no longer subject to losses caused by damage elimination of the glider, and may possibly advance out of the hex. Such units can fire in the advanced fire phase, but not as opportunity fire, so you don't get some like magical benefit where everybody just gets their stuff. I believe this is they might actually show up unconcealed, because I was just thinking of them still existing within the glider. Now I do have the machine guns, and I think I will take advantage of this 3 firepower AA machine gun in the advanced fire phase and shoot at this guy in the woods. Or sorry, in the foxhole. It is a 3 doubled to 6, halved to 3 because of advanced fire phase. 3 up 2. Come on. 6 on 3 is a normal morale check, I believe. No, it's a pin test check, which he's already pinned, so he doesn't have to roll for it. I don't. Do they have a rate of fire? I believe they are marked as rate of fire. What does the scenario card say? They do have a rate of fire. All right, well, I'll shoot again. Why not? All right, cool. So he is... Oops. Yeah. He's marked as advanced fire phase. We're good with that. um, you know what? I might as well get the units that are there now as well. They will also shoot. So that is a... What is that? 816... 24, no, 22, and then halved for advanced fire phase, so 11. Leader directed up to, Jesus. Okay, well, 7 on 11 is a 1 morale check, and that guy's fine. All right, perfect. Kind of crazy rolls for both sides. And is there anything else? Any gun, vehicle can be removed in the subsequent movement phase. I don't have to worry about that. And then, yeah, I don't have to worry about re-entering or whatever. So now they just become and behave like normal infantry, which means route phase. There's no routes to action because everybody was miraculously okay. We'll go to the advanced phase. In the advanced phase, I'm going to split these guys up. You guys can go into I-7. And do I want both? I can only get one squad in there. So I will have a guy with the LMG and the leader will go into the foxhole. And this guy's going to go to P3. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't think there's anything else for me to do. So we go to CC phase. In the CC phase, I have 1 close combat to action. Pretty sure, yeah, there's no woods or nothing. Okay. So in this hex, there's no ambush that can happen because nobody's concealed, and it's not a woods or buildings, or building, singular. So it's a 5-4 for the Germans, and a 1-2 for the Norwegians. So the Germans will get a casualty reduction because their number's a 5, and I don't believe. Ooh, I should have tried capturing. I don't believe I get anything for anything else. No. So I will get a casualty reduction, and the Norwegians, I forgot, they're actually half firepower, so they are at 1-4. And somehow they will get a result on that. Do they get any negatives? I don't think so. Okay, well, we know that they will get halved. So let's just do that now. Bink. And then random selection. So leader squad. Leader will die. All right. Well, I don't have to do a pintash check against that guy because he's fine, essentially. Because it's CC. Actually, he might have to take a pintash check because it's not a melee. So he's pinned, which is just going to come off anyways. Not for the Norwegians, so I'll just take it off. But point is, you do have to check. Because it's not a melee. I think if you're in CC, you still have to check for leader loss stuff. Cool. That will be it for turn 1 for the Germans. We'll go to turn 1 for the Norwegians. We'll do the weather check, which is no change. Like I said, I believe that everybody remains pinned because it just says all Norwegian units are pinned on game turn 1. And game turn 1 is very different from player turn 1. Yeah, so if we look at index, game turn is 2 player turns, each consisting of 8 phases, rally phase through CC phase. So all the Norwegians retain pin status, which is going to be honest, a little weird, but the Germans will take whatever they can get to get this action going, I suppose. So rally phase actions, I don't believe there's anything for anybody to do. We'll go to prep fire. Now, prep fire is very interesting here because I don't necessarily want to reveal any of my concealed units. But there are some units that I should probably maybe take shots with. So, as an example, it's a 4-2. It's probably not worth it. everybody's in buildings, so it's probably not really worth it for this guy like L7 in particular to take a shot at. But I do think that L5 does have a worthwhile shot at shooting these guys in P3, because they are in the open now. It is it's a 4 firepower shot, halved because it's long distance to 2, then halved because they're pinned. The LMG is just a halved for pin, so it's a 2 firepower shot up 1, and that will break the LMG. All right, I was not expecting that break, but I guess it's what you get. Now I don't need to care about C1D1, and everybody's pinned anyways, so there's nothing I can do here. But I think there is some value in like in having this guy. If I could have moved him to H9, I absolutely would have. For example, getting this guy into N3 as an example also would have been really cool. But defensive fire phase. So in the defensive fire phase, I'm going to assemble this machine gun because there's no reason not to assemble that. That does count as a shot. My AA machine guns from the gliders can shoot, and that is very important. I'm going to have the 2 squads in I7 are going to shoot at the guy in L5. So that is going to be a 8 firepower up 2. No. Up 2 because the leader is down 1, but there is a +1 for hindrance and then +2 for building. I don't think a 4 up 3 is going to be worthwhile against that concealed guy. It's unfortunate. I do have 3 firepower machine guns, but it's all up 3s. So again, probably not worth it. Advanced fire phase, none that I care to do or want to do. Nobody broke. So we're not going to bother with that. And everybody's pinned, so can't advance in the advanced phase. There is a CC ongoing, and they're again 1 to 4. Unfortunately, they will not get anything out of it, and the Germans will roll consistently, surprisingly consistently, and get a kill on that one. They will get to occupy the foxhole now, because foxholes have a hard limit of 1 squad, if I remember correctly. And the LMG, because I didn't roll a colored 1, should remain on the ground. I could be wrong on that one, but something tells me that is correct. Not that I really care for it because it's not better. I'd rather just use my squad, but having an extra LMG could prove useful, maybe, perhaps. So we'll go to turn 2 for the Germans. In their case, again, we've got 3 gliders, so we've got all the shenanigans as before. I think the best way to look at it here is get my symbols out once more. My overlays. We'll do this guy. Where else do I need to have units? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's worthwhile. And then I suppose getting... I could have 1 stack go against the foxhole and the other guys go against the building. It's my mortar, so I'm partial to having the mortar up there. That's fine. It's really more of, do I do this? And again, have these guys assault that building. Because that building, I think, is going to be the one quote-unquote issue. I'm going to get P1. I should get P1 this turn. That'll be fine. The pins do come off, which is very problematic. Maybe I cool my jets here and I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, maybe I don't go too crazy. Maybe that's the plan here. Cool. I think that's how I'm gonna do this. So that's my reinforcements placed on board. Rally phase. There's only one thing to action. Did I do weather? I did not. Weather, no change. Repair does not happen. So we go to prep fire phase. In the prep fire phase, I'm going to. This guy's fine where he is, and I control this building, so that's really nice. I'm gonna have these guys do the same shot again. It's a 8 up 2. Damn it. Okay. Ooh, do I care for doing that? Not particularly. I just technically, can I pick up the machine gun? Yes, I will pick up the machine gun in the rally phase because it doesn't affect anything here. I'm going to try and Hail Mary this. I'm going to do a 3.5 up 2 from this guy in the foxhole. 3.5 up 2. It's an 8 on 3.5. Nothing. Damn. If it was just a +1, I would have gotten it, though. So I think that's all I really can stand to do. You know what? Why not? I'll do the 4 up 3. Which is a 9, which won't do anything. Because I don't really have anything else on him. Maybe what I'll do, what I could have done, probably I should have done that. I should have just done opportunity fire. Speaking of, I'm just going to opportunity fire the guy with the MMG. I think that will make some sense here. Okay. So, am I allowed to declare AA mode whenever? Okay, no, I don't need to worry about that too much. Okay. All right, so we get to turn 2 for the Germans, their movement, and we go back to the glider shenanigans. So in the glider shenanigan phase, let's do this guy first because he's probably the center of attention here. No pun intended. L6 initial landing hex is G4. You're gonna roll 2 die. It's clear all the way through, so they'll land in the hex without any issue. Do I want to shoot at him? Yes. And I believe it's like once for every hex or whatever. I could be wrong on that one. So this HMG is going to go into AA mode and will shoot at him. I need to find where AA mode is. There we go. So AA mode will reduce their rate of fire from 3 to 2. And if I remember correctly, I don't believe it's halved. Capable fire as light AA. Oh, a machine gun loses multiple rate of fire capability when it fires. Okay. And is subject to cowering, which is neat. A vehicle conducting it. Don't worry about that. Cool. So, yeah, I think that's why, because there's no distance involved. So IFT is an 8. It is shooting at 6 firepower, but unfortunately I needed a 6 or greater, or less. It is not exactly one above the kill number either. If I'd rolled a 7, I would have gotten that. Although I guess I don't know if LV hindrance would apply to that shot. Doesn't matter. It's still over anyways. So it is a nothing burger. I did get rate of fire. So my understanding is that I then go to J5. I take another shot. IFT. It's even worse. And I lost Or sorry, I don't have rate of fire. Duh. It loses its multiple rate of fire. Alright. Well, that'll be for this next guy's shot, because that sucks. So I land in that hex. Take that off. This guy is marked as... yeah, I'll mark him as final. So it lands. Now I get to choose... well, I have to do damage. It's a 4, because there's no other modifier. Because I'm not landing in any crazy hex. I'm just landing in runaway hex. So he's fine. He flips over, and I will place him over here. And then he now has his 3 firepower AAMG. And these guys will exist in 2 phases from now. Yeah, it only makes sense for me to do this guy. I didn't necessarily want to do it this way, but okay, so this guy will land in his hex, so no issue there. He gets to it. I was going to shoot with the AA with this HMG, but because this guy lost his rate of fire, we'll just take this number up, because I mean, I would have shot with the HMG no matter what. And similarly, it's too high to affect the glider, so and it doesn't have a multiple rate of fire, so it just lands there. It turns into ground. Now, do I want to move closer to the enemy? Not necessarily. In fact, I think I will move to H8 and exist there. I think that makes the most sense for these guys. And then again, 3 firepower AAMG. All right. And then lastly, same idea. It's clear the entire way. So I will land in the hex. There's nobody to shoot at them because I don't have any more HMGs. Because technically that is the first fire. So he'll land here. And then I might as well... Or sorry, I will do... Nah, he's fine. I'm honestly surprised I haven't rolled a 6 yet. He'll go to K5, and then they will exist there. And then similarly, 3 firepower AAMG. Okay, so that is it for the gliders. I guess technically I could have moved my ground unit singular, because it's only this guy. So the guy in P3 is going to move to P2 for 1. I don't think anybody can see him outside of this guy in L7. And the question is, do I want to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Can't do it. Okay. And I don't think L5 can see him. So I'm not going to bother. So he gets there for 1, and then gets into the building for 3, and then 4. Yeah. And so that I'm not insane or forget, I will put a victory counter there. Because again, the Germans have to control all the buildings, which right now they control about 70, or no, 50%, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Yeah. Excuse me. Okay, so that's it for movement phase. Defensive fire. Now I can still attempt to blow up gliders and such because they are unarmored. So anybody can shoot at them. And there is LV against when shooting at aircraft. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so I can still take shots at these guys, and I think I will. So, for example, I will have the green squad shoot as subsequent against the glider in G3. Wow, okay. That will cower them, but I don't think that matters. Oh, wait, shoot. Okay, so there's hard math here. This is 6. It goes up to 12 for being adjacent, but then is halved back to 6 because it's subsequent. And then they're green, so they double cower. So it goes from 6 to 4 to 2. that's still underneath the vehicle destruction number. So, if I look at the chart thingamajiggy here, what do we got here? If it's... kill number, if it's... Oh, hold on here. Why am I looking at the wrong stuff? Resolution. If the final IFT is less than the vehicle kill number, the aircraft is eliminated. Now, does that change anything once they've landed? Defensive fire phase, use... Yeah, okay. So they do have the crew survival stuff. Yeah, okay. So there's crew survival stuff that will take place. We'll do the sniper activation first. Doesn't happen. All right, cool. So crew survival. There's 2 units. So roll individually. I don't believe... Do I roll for support weapons? I don't know if I do. Crew survival. Is there any... If I look for support weapon? What if I go to gliders and I check for a support weapon? Swamp are considered to have malfunctioned. Okay, I'm gonna assume they just lose. They would lose it because the glider itself is destroyed. So the mortar will go away. I'm just gonna reassemble it because it doesn't matter. And then I have to roll large die or 2 die for both guys individually. So first guy rolls a 10, second guy rolls a 7. So the first guy is dead, and the second guy is exists, and this will turn into a busted glider. I don't believe he's pinned. I think he just exists there. I might actually have to check crew survival for that one. Where's the D inherent crew, is it? There you go. So, surviving are not subject to collateral attack, blah, blah, blah. Can be reduced, residual. Yeah, no, they just get out of the thing. Which seems strange. I would have figured crew survival would have, like, pinned them or something. Do stationary, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I can't see anything that says they're pinned, so I'm just going to assume they're not pinned, but they do exist there. So that one squad has survived. So reason for doing that sort of thing. I don't get to shoot with this HMG, which sucks. But I will take a shot with the green squad in L5 against the guy next to him. They are shooting it on 8, up 1. So that's a 10 on 8, which is unfortunate. If I could have gotten some minuses, I would have also been able to get another kill there, but that won't happen. So this guy is considered to have fired. We'll mark him as final. I could take a chance with nobody because that's a leader, and I forgot that. Do I want to try and save this guy's concealment? I think so. And I don't really have anybody else to shoot with. I could shoot a 2 firepower, and that would... I would need... Okay, well, you know what? Let's just try. Man, I hate that... okay. So, that is... a 4 firepower. It's a straight line. Which that I knew. it is halved to 2. A vehicle kill number is 4. And it will go up by 1 for LV hindrance. So it will not eliminate the glider, but it will damage it. And there is stuff for damaged stuff. So damaged. Why would it not? Okay, so damaged glider. Casualty reduction, random. And passengers, normal morale check. All support weapons are malfunction, which there are none. And the vehicle is bogged, which doesn't matter. So there's a random casualty reduction. So leader, squad. So one squad is halved. And then they all take normal morale checks. So leader is pinned, fine, and fine. That's kind of a bummer. But honestly, could have been a lot worse. So that guy's there now. I think that's everything for shots. Do I want to risk anything else? Not particularly. I don't want to open these guys up because they'll just get mauled by this machine gun. Although the machine gun's going to shoot anyways at stuff, so... Oh, you know what? I don't think I was calculating this for these shots, but whatever. Doesn't matter now. I think that's it. Advanced fire phase. So now, advanced fire phase, all of the guys get out of the gliders, so they exist now. I guess technically now is when I would do the whole, like, who dies and whatever, but it's way easier to just do it this way. Mark that as damaged. Who wants to shoot? Who needs to shoot? Who wants to shoot? Well, I think I got 2, actually. So the guys in G3 are going to shoot at the guys in the foxhole. It's going to be a 4-up-3? Nope. Which is fine. I was kind of expecting that sort of thing. The guys in the glider in K5 will do similar. They will have an 11 firepower shot, up 3. Because I think that leader, yeah. So up 3, doesn't matter. I didn't break the machine gun, which is nice. But sad nonetheless. And then the opportunity fire machine gun... I think I'm going to take the opportunity, to shoot at the guy in L9. They're concealed, but screw it. I don't really have much better of a shot anyways. So it's a 4.5 up 3. 9 on 4.5, pretty sure is nothing. Pretty sure I need an 8 at best, yeah. And it would be not the right one. And I do have rate of fire, but I'm not going to bother with it. So, routes. In the route phase, I don't think anybody's broken. No. Cool. We'll go to advanced phase. Now, advanced phase is going to be particular. We'll do this, because I want to get rid of that heavy machine gun. Getting into the building is actually very valuable. So I'm going to take that chance. The guy in O2 is going to go to O3 because he'll be safe from M4. Because technically I don't know what that is still. That guy will go in for some CC shenanigans. Now I have a dilemma here. I need to get to this building D5. That is a for sure. But I don't want to let myself get shot at by that guy in the foxhole. So maybe... I think my plan is the MMG and squad go down to H9. I send my half squad in H8 to I9 to watch these guys. My guy in H8 will go to H7. And then I'm going to split those 2 stacks, or those 2 squads, and I'll go after this. And then the 9-1 will go here, because it's the furthest from this foxhole. And if the foxhole guy wants to shoot at the leader, then fine by me. You know what? I'll keep him back. Because if those guys break, they can rally. Or could they route? No. So it is kind of a death sentence. So fuck it. Cool. That is, I think, everybody for advances. I don't want to take this guy out of the foxhole. I could, I guess. Is there any negative to taking me out of the foxhole outside of this guy shooting at him? No. Because the wall is going to protect from this. And I do need to get this guy moving. So yeah, I'm going to get him out of the foxhole. I think it would make more sense to go to P6 though. Because again, I still don't know what that guy is. So if it was a squad 1, 2, 3, it'd be halved. Otherwise, if I'm in 06, it'd be full range. And I think that's it for advances. Being very aggressive, but I feel like time is ticking already. And if this guy does not succeed, then I'm going to have that much worse of a time trying to get to this building. So I need to get into this building. And then these two kind of self-explanatory there. So, and I don't believe the LV hindrance goes away. I think it stays forever. Yeah, treat is heavy rain. Okay, well. Oh, I guess I didn't see if I rolled a 3 or less on the weather. Did I roll 3 or less on the weather? I don't think so. No, I think I've been low, but not that low on the weather, so I don't have to worry about it. Cool. CC, let's do top bottom here. So over here, H2, there's no modifier. I could try to capture the squad, but I don't really care that much about it, to be honest. And then 1-to-1 back. So the green squad dies, and the German half squad is reduced. That CC goes away, and they will claim the foxhole, which is amazing for the Germans here, because they really needed that. And they'll get to pick it up. And because that guy's just a hack squad, I don't really care about advancing him anywhere. Over in this building, there is an ambush chance, so Germans and then Norwegians. The Norwegians are inexperienced, so there's a +1 for being lax. Because I believe green troops are auto lax. Is there anything else that I have? I don't think I have anything, so I think they will get an ambush. And I will use the ambush to go 1-to-1 against the 468 with a -1. That will cause a casualty reduction. So that guy gets halved. Again, that's great for the Norwegians because now it's less punishing here. It is a 7-to-4, which is a 3-to-2 instead of 9-to-4, which would have been a 2-to-1. So 3-to-2, and there's a +1 for being ambushed, so nothing will happen. That will go into a melee. And then over here, there is a German and then Norwegian roll. The Norwegian unit is concealed for -2, but then gets a +1 for being lax, so there's no ambush. So 1-to-1 for the Germans and a 1-to-1 for the Norwegians. The Norwegians are halved and the Germans are dead. That's not how I expected these to go, but here we are. Yeah. Okay. This we will clone, put it over there. We will clone this, put it over here. So the Norwegians get to claim a couple buildings if I'm not too careful, which doesn't really matter because the gliders have machine guns, so you know they'll be able to just deal with whatever they try to do. But I still need to claim this building, so it's not all sunshine and roses here. Turn 2 for the Norwegians. We have a weather check. Nothing happens. Take off our pins. Rally phase. There's nothing to try to rally. I will try to pick up the machine gun. I will get it. And we'll go to prep fire phase. So in the prep fire phase, what do I do here? I think the only option I have realistically is this heavy machine gun is going to start blasting. So I'm going to try for H6 because I think that's the best option I have here. Why is that level 0? That's level 1. Why is that level 0? I don't know why that's marked. Hold on. If I draw, why is, the foxhole would not reduce you to level 0. Is that, am I going crazy here? Okay, I'm gonna try something. If I take out an info counter, a foxhole, and I put the foxhole in J3, and then I do, yeah. Why is E0 treated, why does that say E11? Okay, you know what? I found a bug. Pardon me, I need to go softly prod somebody. At Doug. Doug! E1 is registering as XE11 and is displaying as level 0 instead of level 1. And now to get some photographic evidence. Sorry, folks, but, you know, when we're doing... Sometimes you find a bug, and it's worthwhile to point out to the one guy that can fix this. So, huzzah. Again, sorry that this happened. But anyways, okay. So I know that that's level 1. So it's level 1, and it can see over the hedge. So what was the range I had on this one? Pretty sure it was 6. Yeah, cool. So range is 6, which means the squad can shoot with. So I might as well. It's an 8 up 1. 6 on 8, which is pretty nice. I do have rate of fire. 6 on 8 is a 1 morale check. So leader first, he's fine. And then the squad will break. Which, not as great. I do have rate of fire, so I will shoot at them again. And nothing happens. It was just 6, and then it would be up 1, so it's 10 on 6, which isn't anything. But I broke a squad, which is, I'll take it. It's not my preferred outcome, but could be worse. Could be worse. Yeah. Yeah, and that guy, I could technically route away. I could technically route because of this, because I won H2. Do I have any other prep fires? I might not have any other prep fires. No, I don't think I have any other shots. The Norwegians in this one are kind of hosed. I lost a lot of... I did not do any real damage to the Germans until this last CC. And really, you know, I needed to get a couple more kills, I think, at this point. The green troops in F1 will go to G2 for 1. I really don't... I don't really have any other options, I think. I don't feel like I have other options. So, squad in G8 is going to shoot at them. It is a 4... down 1 for non-assault movement, +1 for height advantage, and then +1 for LV hindrance. So it's a 4 up 1. 7 on 4 is a pintash check, and they are fine. So first fire, and then he'll go down to H1 for 2 total. I don't know why this... Oh, right, because that was an extra one. I just plopped there. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I could have taken a 1 up 1 shot. Is it worth it? Not really. It's kind of sniper bait. Is there any other movement phase to do? This guy's going to reveal himself and assault move to M5. Oh, do I get the green half squad to go in on this? It is a runway hex, so he'd be screwed. I don't think that's worth it. But the leader is fine to sacrifice, I think. So leader's going to go down to M5. I will have this 3 firepower machine gun shoot. It is open ground. an LV hindrance, so it's a 3 flat. Nothing happens. Cool. I guess I'll have this guy with the LMG shoot. So squad plus the German LMG, it's a 7 firepower flat. Okay, I do cower, so it goes 6 to 4, but that is still a K2. So he's dead. Which is very unfortunate, because I was not... if I could have gotten that leader in, it brings it to a 5. I could 1-to-1 against the full squad and leader, which would have been really nice. But I don't really have any other options, which is unfortunate. Yeah. Defense fire phase. This guy's broken, so I can't really do anything with him. This guy's in a terrible space now. I didn't really realize that he doesn't have line of sight to that, so he's going to have to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what? I do have range. But it's a +4 shot. 6 up 4 plus captured would be up 6, I think. So yeah, not really worth it. You know what? I'm just gonna blow up the machine gun. I don't think I get anything out of it. So I'm gonna blow up the HMG on that guy, which is fine. We'll mark him just so we don't forget. 4 up 3 is not worth it. I'm gonna try medium machine gun and squad. So 9 firepower up 3. No, and I cower, but that's not really important. I could try the 2 up 3. 2 up 3. Oh, but that would have been really good. Yeah, okay. I think that's it. Advanced fire phase. None, realistically. Routes. In the route phase, I am going to have the broken squad is going to assault move to H5. Because I don't think I can technically get closer to this melee. So that's just like that. So Elo crawls to H5. He'll be fine. I don't think anybody else needs to route or anything. So we'll go to advanced phase. In the advanced phase, is there anything I want to do with the Norwegians? I could move this guy into K8 and claim a second building. Is it worth taking a 6 up 3 in the follow-up? Not particularly. So I think I'm just going to hold out on that. But I am going to have these green guys... Ooh. Do I have them wait? I think it might make more sense to wait. Because otherwise, they'll just get blasted by these guys. So yeah, I think they're going to wait in H1. And we'll see what we can get. Melees, or close combat, I guess, realistically. Melees, there's 1. I'm going to do 2-to-1 against the half squad. I've been very lucky today. The Germans are going to fight back with whatever. I believe I said 3-2. We've got 6, 7. Yeah, that's a 3-2. They will both succeed. So this half squad is eliminated, and then this guy becomes a half squad, and is in a bad way. Yeah, wow. Okay. That is it for that. I guess I could have technically moved them, but whatever. I don't think it's the end of the world. There's no extreme winter either, so I feel like that should be fine. Weather, no change. Rally, 1. Self-rally, didn't happen. DM will stay on, so I don't have to worry about that. Prep fire. In the prep fire phase, I will attempt my 9 up 3 shot. 10 on 9 might be a pin test check. No, I'm off by 1. Damn it. Is there really no modifier? Damn. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, well, that's prep fire. Is there anybody else to prep fire with? No. Movement phase. In the movement phase, I'm just going to make this simple for myself. Leader is going to assault move into H9. so I don't get shot at while I'm at in the open here. I'm not going to take any shots with that. This half squad is going to declare CX. They will get out for 1. Sorry, they have to get out for 2, technically. Into H3 for 3. Still not going to shoot at them. Entis G4 for 4. F4 for 5. And then E5 for 6. Now, it makes the most sense to shoot with this guy, because I can't do a fire lane with the guy in the foxhole because he's not same level. So I will do an 8 down 1. Ouch. That should just be a kill. I can't imagine that anything else happens there. So that's a kill. And there is a 4 residual. So squad in H7 will go to G7 for 1, F6 for 2, and then E6 for 3. Squad is going to final. So it's a 4 down 1. 6 on 4 is a normal. They are fine. Okay, I'm going to take a shot with the machine gun. Because I can always subsequent against lower guys or whatever. So what am I looking at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 8 firepower down 1. 5 on 8, 2 morale check. Legend. Somehow that guy passes. That's disgusting. IFT, no rate of fire. So next squad will go F7 for 1. E7 for 2. I will attempt a subsequent. So they're both shooting at half. So that's a what, 5? No, he's halved twice. So 4. Firepower down 1. 6 on 4 normal. He will break. Okay. Okay. I might have to wrangle some guys. How I want to split this is going to be very important. 2, 3, yeah. Okay, so squad in O3 will go 1, 2, 3. Now I know this guy exists, so I don't think I'm going to take this risk. I just don't think it's worth it. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. This guy will assault move to 07. Again, not going to take that shot because it's +2 for the wall alone. So there's a lot of negatives there. This would be a 2 down 2, I believe. Do I risk a 2 down 2? This shot was, oh, you know what? I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so that was 4, I said, so that'd be 2. So the 9-1 leader can go 1, 2, 3. Ooh, can I see that? I have to try this. I don't think I can see this, but I can see it. All right, well, that's a shot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is a 2 firepower shot. It has, I don't believe it has open ground because of the obstacle, but it is non-assault. So -1 +1 for hedge and non-assault, and then +1 for LV hindrance. So it has the +1. It's a 5 on 2 normal morale check. He's fine. Damn it. Okay. All right. So he makes it there. We'll go there for 4 and then 5. I could attempt the final protective fire, but honestly, I do not feel confident. I would rather take my chances in close combat, to be honest. So I'm gonna hold out and hope and pray. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have guy in I9 is gonna assault move to J8. Now I'm gonna do I take that shot? It is full firepower. There is a hindrance, or at least I'm pretty sure that would count as like TM/hindrance. Do I take that shot? Mm, no, no, I don't think I take that shot. That should be it for movement. Go to defensive. I will take a 1 up 1. I've gotten really good rolls as the Norwegians. That's kind of crazy. Normal morale check. He's fine. Okay, well, that's still kind of insane. I've gotten really, really good rolls consistently with the Norwegians. Save a few, obviously, but I feel like the Norwegians have had more luck than they should have, if that makes sense. Yeah. I don't think I have any other defensive fire. So advanced fire phase. In the advanced fire phase, I don't particularly have anything I want to shoot with. I could shoot these guys, but it'd be 3.5 up 3. It's not really worth it. And then these guys, blah blah blah. So yeah, I think I'll hold off on it. We'll go to route phase. This guy will continue his thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's gonna low crawl to D7. He low crawls up. I think that's it for broken units. Yeah. Advanced phase. So we're gonna reinforce a close combat. We're gonna take K8 again. Not that I lost it, but try to occupy it. Yeah, this guy's not gonna move. That's too silly. These guys are gonna jump in there. And I think that's it for advances. Close combat phase. In the close combat phase, I have 2. We'll do the one that currently exists. So that's a 9 to 2. So 4 to 1. They're dead. And then it makes the most sense to go against the new guy as a 1 to 2. This guy was not paired with the leader. So 1 to 2. Okay, well, so okay, so the Germans generated first because they go first. So the German side, 1 die roll. It's a 2. They get a -1 for being German, which is kind of whatever. And there's no other positive modifiers. There's one more minus, but it doesn't matter. I will generate a 8-1 leader. So single man counter, I will get an 8-1 leader. And because I was only targeting the 4-6-8, it will kill him. There's no doubt about that. The only shenanigans here is that so I will generate a leader, potentially, for the Norwegians. Now, they don't have a base morale level low. They do have multiple minuses for odds column under 1 to 1. And that is it. So they will also get an 8 down 1. Now, why this doesn't matter is because both sides get a leader, which increases their values. So instead of 9, this is a 10, and this is a 3. So it still kills this guy no matter what. He's dead. But the generated guy, I believe you only generate once. I don't think you roll for each guy. Like, you take the best one, the best possible chance. So because it wasn't targeting the entire stack, it can only kill him. That's, if I remember correctly, that's how it is. Whereas the Germans were targeting the only guy, so technically everybody. So this guy pops into existence and then is quickly snuffed out. He is revealed his presence to the world. He's introduced himself and then promptly gunned down. And then we have another CC over here going into a building, so there is ambush chance. So Germans, Norwegians. The Germans will have a -1, and the Norwegians will have a +1 for being lax. So it turns the 1 for the Germans to a 0, and the Norwegians to a 2. It's not enough to get a result here, because I'm pretty sure they're not considered stealthy. That would seem very strange to me. So yeah, it's a 1-1 for the Germans, down 1, which will get a casualty reduction, and it's a 1-2 no matter what, which unfortunately the Norwegians this time were not lucky. So it's still a melee, but I think it's fair to say that these two melee, this melee is going to not exist for much longer. And we will go to rally phase turn 3 for the Norwegians. Weather, no change. There's no overcast, so we're not worried about falling snow or anything like that. In the rally phase, is there anything for anybody to do? No, the Germans have the only broken units. We go to prep fire. We'll do a 4-3, because why not? It's not successful. Machine gun. HMG will fire at the guys in the building. If I can break them and then get this guy in, I should be okay to capture that building again. It is a 10-3. Damn. Oh, and that breaks it. That might be game right there. Oh, that might be game. Movement phase. These greens have to assault move, because that was the entire basis of it, of the plan. These guys will shoot at them. So it's a down 1, up 1 for leader, then Woods, and then up 1 for LV hindrance. But it is an 18 firepower, up 1. I did not break the machine gun, surprisingly. And 12 on 18 is garbage. Nothing. So maybe there's a shining light there for them. Now, he did spend 2, so I will shoot a second time, because why not? This time on 9. It's a 10 on 9, which I'm pretty sure we've already investigated, and it does nothing. That's it for movement. Defensive fire, I will have the half squad and K8 shoot back as a 4-3. Nope. I will have the LMG shoot from 07. That is a 7-3. Nope. Didn't break the LMG, thankfully. And then I will shoot from L5, which I believe should trigger a encircled penalty. If I'm wrong on that one, please let me know. But I feel like that, because of the angles I've shot at, should lead me to have an encircled penalty here. Which just means, well, it means that they have a +1 to shots. The first hex that they move into is doubled cost, and their morale goes down by 1. So a lot of penalties. It's just a squad with a LMG, but it is directed by a leader, so it's a 7-2. No. Which is very unfortunate that I've rolled poorly this turn. Do I have any other shots? Like, none of the gliders are really doing anything at this point. Not that they can do anything. So I think we'll go to advanced fire phase. I will try my damnedest. 4-3. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't really have anything else. This guy's going to continue. This guy makes it into the woods. I don't really have anything else. Advances. I'm going to jump into this building because I need to get something. If it wasn't post movement phase, maybe I could have run these guys in, but the machine guns on the gliders, I think, are too strong in this scenario, if I'm being honest. I don't have any other advances. CC phase, let's do the melee here first. It is a 2-1 for the Germans and a 1-4. So 2-1, down 1. That should be a success no matter what. 2-1 is 7, yeah. So, oops. So these guys are dead. That goes away. And then over here, there is a ambush chance. So Norwegians, Germans. Norwegians, again, they're lax. The green troops should always be lax, if I remember correctly. And then the -1 for the Germans means the Germans get the ambush. It is a 1-to-1 down 2. God. Yeah, that's GG. I can't even bother. I don't think there's any point left. Just because the Norwegians don't have anything left. So we go to turn 4. Well, I'll try to speed run this a little bit just to kind of give people an idea here. So turn 4 weather gusts, which technically there's already gusts. Doesn't really mean anything at this point, so we're not going to worry about it. Self rally, since it's my turn. Not going to succeed, but it's really the barest margin there, because it's 5 plus 4 for the DM, so it goes to 9. There's a +1 for self-rallying to 10, -1 for woods, so again, I was very close, but didn't get it. There's no other rally phase actions for the Germans. The Norwegians will try to repair and not get it, and that is really the thing that's going to seal their fate here. So, yeah, first and foremost, 4 up 3. No, okay. It doesn't matter because they're going to go in there no matter what. Yeah. The question really becomes, like, do I have these guys shoot there, or do I have them shoot at the foxhole and just be mean? Because I've got 3 turns. I'll have the last move. So yeah, like 9 up 2. 8 on 9 should just be a normal. Correct. Normal morale check. Leader's gone. Yeah, they're both gone. This guy ELRs and breaks. This guy breaks. They are prepped. Do I have rates? No. Which sucks, but whatever. Nobody can stop them anymore. So I don't think I have anything else in prep fire I want to do. I mean, I could do I could try to shoot again. So I'll do a 7 up 2. The 8-0 is not doing anything. It's just the actual good leader, I guess. It's an up 2 on 7, I think I said. So 7 on 7, which is a normal. So the encircled guy will pin because his morale is decreased by 1. There we go. Okay. Now, with that, I will go to movement phase. So in the movement phase, leader in L5 will assault move to L6. I'm not going to contest it because it's not... I mean, this guy's really only got 1 shot. One opportunity. Yeah, man. Okay. This squad declares CX. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't go further. So we'll do 6. It doesn't matter. We'll do 5. 1, 2, 3. The squad with the 2 LMGs will go to N6 for 1. And here's really where the big question comes in. I am going to try and save this encircled guy by sacrificing their concealment for a 2 down 1. It's a 2 on 2, which is a K1. Morale check. They are pinned, which again I've gotten really lucky with these shots because I should not be getting them. I should not roll 3 that frequently. How many 3s? I've rolled 4 3s and 2 snake eyes and the IFT, and my CCs have been 2 snake eyes and 3 3s. That's insane. I should not be doing that. Wow. Yeah, so that guy's pinned. Okay, and then, I mean, realistically, all I can really do, defensive fire, I will try to shoot at the leader. So it's a 2, double to 4, halve to 2, no modifier, or +1. Jeez, see, this is what I'm talking about. The Norwegians have rolled all these 3s. 4 on 2 is a 1 morale check. He's fine. San activates. 6-1. Where the hell is my 6-1? Goes here. Targets this guy. Does he? Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He targets this guy. He's wounded. Which sucks because now he's not good for going into the CC. Well, actually, that's not true. He can go in and he's not providing his +1. Although I am house ruling that he does use his +1. So yeah, he's a liability now. So he's not going to do anything. Don't think there's anything else. Advanced fire phase, none. Routes. These guys will finally make it into the woods. Take off our prep defensive. These guys have to route. They have to leave the machine gun behind, so they go to E2. Oh wow, that's interesting. Okay, sorry, I was looking at Doug talking about bug fixes, and that's awesome. I'm gonna say this now. I don't say it enough. Doug and everybody else that works on the code for Vassal and Vassal, I guess technically the engine. Thank you. Honestly, 2 big thumbs up. If I could give you 3 thumbs up, I would. Because holy shit, it's great that I can play ASL online with friends or by myself, whatever. But also, like, just the amount of time that all those folks put in is fantastic. Yeah. All right, so that's route phase. I could technically route these guys further. I guess I'll do 6, whatever. I don't think that matters. Yeah. Okay. Advanced fire phase. In the advanced phase, you go in. This guy will have to begrudgingly go back because I can't really do anything with him anymore. These guys will advance. This guy's pinned, so I can't do anything. These guys will advance the I-9, even though it doesn't... Actually, you know what? No, it doesn't matter, so they will stay there. That guy can save that. This guy can go up. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't really have anybody else that's surviving. So, CC phase. There's still CCs. Only one. German? Norwegian? Okay, this is ridiculous. So, the Germans have no modifier. Honestly, don't understand how I've rolled so well for the ones on the Norwegians. Same thing with all the 3s I've rolled for them. They get a +2, 1 for being pinned and 1 for being lax. But yeah, the Germans, they don't have any modifiers. So it's a 1-to-1 Germans and 1-to-1 Norwegians. No effect. So this becomes a melee. Norwegians turn 4. Weather does stop the rain. So that goes away. And I believe it also has a wind effect, which that will turn the wind. Jeez, I got a double whammy here. So I have heavy winds, I believe. So heavy winds with gusts. That's not going to matter because there's no blazes or anything. But still important, especially since there's no more LV anymore. Because, again, the rain is stopped since we are treating the LV as heavy rain. Yeah. Take off pins. So, rally phase actions. The Norwegians have a self-rally to try. They did not get it. The Germans have 1 rally to get, and they will accomplish that. I can try to pick up the... I'm not sure if I can. I'm just going to assume I can't. I think that's more fair. Prep fire phase. I mean, look, I can't move out of this building or else they're dead. So I might as well take a shot against the half squad now in N6 as a 2 up 1. Or sorry, 2 flat because there's no more thing. Nothing happens. Movement phase, none. Defensive fire phase. Stacking H9. It'll be a 9 up 1. Ugh, really? Okay. Half squad will shoot back as a 3 up 2. Nope. And I don't have any other shots. This DM goes away. Advanced fire phase, none. Routes, none. Advances, none. CC. We do, we got a 1-to-1 for Norwegians and a 1-to-1 for the Germans. The Germans will lose. I believe Encircled still stays on. So turn 5 for the Germans. Rally phase. 1 self-rally. Nope. I guess technically I should have done... I did not do weather for some reason. Should have rolled those backwards. Norwegians. They will not get the self-rally. So we go to prep fire. Might as well try again. 9 up 1. They will not cower because the leader, so 7 on 9, is a 1 morale check. Okay. 6 allied, so he's elite, so it's a -1, so it's a 5. And then he's allied minor, which goes to a 7, so he battle hardens. And then morale check. Really? God, ridiculous. What are these numbers? Sniper. Doesn't activate. Ridiculous. Okay. Stack and L6 will shoot 14 up 1. Unbelievable. Okay. And then 3 up 2. No, pretty sure. I do have rate of fire. Nope. 3 up 2. Nope. 3 up 2. Nope. And I'm just gonna take that off. I don't think this guy has a shot. Yeah. Movement phase. Guy with the LMGs will assault move to M7, and they will take a shot, because why not? And it's a 4... Might be like a 4 down 3. So it's a normal morale check, I'm pretty sure. He's fine, which is disgusting. This guy will lose CX. I will do 1, bypass 2, 4. These guys will flip. These guys are just gonna move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The wounded leader will go 1, 2, 3. That's it for moves. Defensive. 4 up 1. 6 on 4s and normal. That probably would have been a 1 check. He would have still been fine. Normal. Okay. Unbelievable. Advanced fire phase. 3 up 2. Nope. Would I get a... I do get a pin test check. He's fine, because why wouldn't he... routes. Everybody here goes up 1. These guys have to route. They can't see anybody. So 1, 3, 6. I think is their path. Because I don't think they'd be able to see these guys. I don't know how gliders are treated as for enemy units, so I think they're fine moving at J1. It's as far as they can go anyways. Advances. In the advance phase, I'm going to try and get that guy over there. You can go into this building. Take off preps and defensive. You can go into I-9. You can start to come back to civilization. That's it. CC. Got one. German, Norwegian. Are you freaking kidding me? There's no ambush, but it's a 1-to-1 both ways. The Germans are successful. Jesus. Alright. Having to put all my brain power into this is crazy. Yeah, I don't think I had any pins. No. Okay, cool. Alright, last Norwegian turn before we go to the Germans. Weather, no change. Rally phase 1. Didn't get it. Germans will attempt to... Oh, sorry, I have to do a self-rally first. Okay. I'm not a fan of this either. 2-die roll. He's elite, so he gets a -1. He's broken, so he gets a +1. So he battle hardens. So this guy flips and battle hardens to a 9-1, I guess? Yeah, wow. And then he will attempt to rally the broken guy, which he will get, which is also ridiculous. And then I will try to rally, which... Okay, sure. It's just... Nice. Gotta love it. 4-1. You know what? 4-1 against the 9-1. Damn it. I tried. Movement, none. Defensive. These guys will fire group. So it will be a 13 up 1. Jeez, I really have... I did something to my machine guns. I mistreated them or something. Normal morale check. Leader's fine. I hate this. 3 up 2. That's ridiculous. Double 3s. What world do I live in? Alright. Advanced fire phase, none. Routes. I mean, yeah, no. None. Advances, none. CC, none. Alright, last turn here. Blah, blah, blah. We'll do this. Weather, no change. Germans will try to repair. No. Self-rally? Nope. Off by 1 again. God damn it. Okay. Prep fire. This is the $1,000,000 question here. Do I prep fire? I'm going to prep fire with the squad and MMG only. So 9 up 1. Don't cower. 7 on 9. The 1 morale check. That's not game. He takes a pentash check. He's fine. Ooh, actually, do you add modifiers reverse for pentash check? A leader lost morale. Leader, yeah. What am I? Leader lost task check, I think. Yeah, leader lost task check. Equal to the strength of the negative. God damn it, it is. So that guy's pinned. Okay. Like, this is what happens when I play myself. I can never be happy. I have to celebrate everybody's victories, and I have to cry over every single loss. No other prep fires. In the movement phase, I'm just going to drop both LMGs and assault move into L8. The squad in I9 is going to go into J8 for... Actually, you know what? It'll go to J9 for 1 and then K10 for 2. I might as well take that as a shot with the green guys, and that's 8 half to 4 pentash check. He's fine. Yeah, that'll probably in and of itself be game, but guy with the LMG will do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take a subsequent because what do I got to lose? That's doubled. It's another Pintash check on 2. He's fine. God, yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Bypass 4, 5, 6. These guys are re-DM'd. I got nothing better to do with this guy, so he'll do 4. And then, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's it for movement. Defensive fire phase, I've already conducted all my shots. Advanced fire phase, I should have stacked people, but I guess it doesn't really matter. These guys will shoot, so it's a 2 plus 7. So 9 up 2. Gross. 7 on 9, so 1 morale check. So broken leader, he's fine. And the green guy is fine. He'd just be a pinned again, which he can't be. And then the 468 will shoot. That will encircle him, which doesn't realistically matter, but it's good to market, I guess. Routes. This guy can't go K2, can't go I2, can't go I1, can't go J10 because he can see these guys. So he has to go to K1, and then he can't go anywhere else, and he's stuck adjacent. They are eliminated for failure to route. At least I'm pretty sure it's failure to route at that point, because they've already started moving. I don't think you can move and then surrender. If I'm wrong on that one, someone please correct me. And then I will declare no quarter on this, so that he's eliminated. I could take him prisoner, but it doesn't really matter. And then advances. So silly movements first, because why not? I own all these buildings, so it doesn't matter. I forgot to put the marker on that guy. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we will go to CC. So in the CC phase, I am advancing into a building. So German, Norwegian. I still can't get good Norwegian or bad Norwegian ambush. The Germans have -1 for leader, and the Norwegians have a +2, 1 for pin, 1 for lax. Do they not get any for encircled? That's kind of silly. Yeah, wow, that's kind of silly. Okay, well, it just means that they go up to 3 and the Germans go down to 1, which means there's nothing. It is a 12 to 4, so a 3 to 1, down 1. And then I'll just do a 1 to 1 because it doesn't matter. Or sorry, 1 to 2 doesn't matter. And then the Norwegians win because I didn't get a 3 to 1 kill with a -1. And what's worse is that even if I'd done a capture attempt, which I should have been doing capture attempts, I still would have only gotten a -1 for the capture attempt, which, so yeah, I would have equaled, so I would have only gotten I would have only gotten a half squad because casualty reduction. And cannot place any IFT FP on any airfield hex, which I guess, yeah, I guess knowing that, I may have gone, would I have gone anywhere else? Not really. But it does incentivize maybe staying in the woods or something. I guess it does incentivize not shooting with the HMG all that much, maybe? I don't know. So yeah, I feel like the Norwegians just got every lucky roll, so I'm not really comfortable saying this is a Norwegian victory. Um, how many threes did I roll for the Norwegians? I will never know because I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go back through this VOD and calculate it. But yeah, I got just about the vast majority. Sniper only triggered once, which is kind of wild to think about. I don't know how many twos I got for the Germans though. I know I got one for the rally, which is not particularly like necessary, but it's nice. Um, yeah, getting the 2 on a rally was nice. I'm sure I got a 2 for either side on IFT. The morale check was for, yeah, like really, like these guys got really lucky on all their morale checks for 4 turns or whatever. So I think that's kind of a little BS. Um, the Norwegians never getting, like, I rolled 9 ones for ambush and 3 twos, and a bunch of threes and fours and fives. But yeah, like I just kept rolling really low. My CCs are kind of crazy, like 2 4 1 7 4 3 1 2 3 0 0. So I never rolled an 11 or a 12 on my CCs. The only number I didn't roll on a morale check was 12. In my rallies, I just didn't roll a 4, 11, or 12. So kind of wild, like the dispersion on that one. Um, yeah, like my overall numbers are 7, 17, 5, 24, 24, 21, 18, 15, 13, 8, and 5 from 2 to 12. So kind of gives you an idea. Like I had a vast number of threes I hit, and half or a third in terms of twos and fours. Obviously, it counts the weather rolls, but I mean, it's not really a high number, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, crazy, 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 crazy. Uh, that being said, I think it's very worthwhile pointing out that this scenario is actually not that bad. The special scenario rules are rather wordy, and I kind of wish that wasn't the case. Because honestly, someone's going to look at that wall of text and say, no, pass. It's not interesting. But I do like the objective of controlling all the buildings except building C1. Also, the Norwegians can't place any IFT firepower on any airfield hex. So it's not just a matter of getting the buildings, it's really like clearing the map. Um, Norwegians have to be in good order and normal range, so you can't just, expect long range to do anything. But it does mean that the HMGs need to be cleared as well. You can't just let them overwatch the airfield. Um, because the units are pinned, you don't have to worry about being shot at. The gliders being shot at. Now, I could be wrong on that one. So, I'm sure someone will hopefully correct me if I am wrong on that one with the HMGs. It feels like when you're pinned, I don't think you're allowed, or it's just, it's just not really worth it. So maybe I was just looking at it not being worth it instead, because it is a 3 firepower up 1. Is that worth it? Probably not, because they're pinned. So yeah, so that's in effect. Because the LV and the relatively free access to the airfield, in terms of the Norwegians can't set up a lot of units next to it and all that sort of stuff, you do get to land relatively safely, which is really nice. It's not something that's typically afforded to the gliders, which means you can land, and barring any upsets or whatever, you get to land and not suffer any losses. You get to move the extra hex, which I think is really appreciated. I think the only thing I would realistically change is taking away the 3 firepower AAMG. I just think it's neat. I'm pretty sure I was saying it was neat at the start of it, but I feel like one, if you're not playing with the IIFT, it doesn't really matter. You can't scrounge them, so it's not like you get extra firepower or anything. And because of the LV hindrance, unless it goes away really early, the extra +1 really does a number on low firepower numbers. Like if I wasn't playing with the IIFT, uh, it wouldn't even be like sevens. You would need a 3 or less to get even just a pin test check on an unconcealed guy. And if you're not playing with the IIFT, you need a 6. 6 is the lowest you can go for pin test check. There's no conditional, and you would have to roll 3 or less against against buildings. I don't. It just doesn't. It does not seem like that would be worthwhile to do and all that. So yeah, I think that's probably the one thing I would change is not have the AAMGs. Uh, just to kind of get an idea of if that's worthwhile as a change. Yeah, I think that's what I would change is I would do a shake up and um, allow you to not have the AAMGs. I think that's the change I would do. Has anybody played this scenario? Yeah, there's 3 games apparently, and it's Norwegians 2-1 German victory. And the only AAR here is back in 2011, so wow, a long time ago. Germans had some rough luck on the landing of the transport aircraft due to gusts on both landing turns. There was a damage crash on turn 1 and 2 damage crashes on turn 2. Ouch. The casualty reductions and morale check losses put me behind by a turn right off the bat. The Norwegians did not bother guarding the area right around the airport, choosing to defend all the buildings far from the airfield, which is only, yeah, I mean, D5, P1, and L9. It's the only ones, really. The Germans then got timid and lost a turn or 2 by attempting to break the Norwegians. Finally, a couple did break, and the Germans were off to rush the remaining buildings. It all came down to a HMG shot at the last squad headed to the AA-10 building. AA-10? AA-10? Oh, they didn't know. They didn't know. They did not crop the board. Because there's no AA-10. Huh? Yeah, there's no AA-10. They didn't crop the board. There's no way they cropped the board. Okay, well, we're learning things here, folks. Everybody makes mistakes. The Germans were able to pin the leader, but not the squad. He also moved up some units adjacent. The hope was that the unit would cower on the shot since the leader could not direct fire, or at least had a mediocre shot and lose rate. Was able to take an 8 down 2 shot and garner a 2 morale check without rate. The unit failed the morale check just barely, but gave the win to the defender. Good game, closer than it should have been. Yeah, and it sounds to me like they didn't play with the correct maps, or correct cropped maps. So maybe that really had an effect on that. Yeah. Anyways, like I said, I think this is a fun scenario. I would play it again. I would feel a little bad playing as the Norwegians, but most specifically, again, because of the 3 firepower AAMGs. Get rid of those, and I think you're good. Especially since the gliders, I don't know if the gliders act as half tracks or squads or whatever. Can they fire group? Because gliders don't typically ever get weapons, so I can't imagine why they'd be able to fire group. But if you could argue that they do, it would kind of suck, because then you could really stack a lot of firepower in those ways. So, anyways, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this as well. Like I said, I had fun. I would do this again. Oh, you know what? Technically, shoot. Did I get that wrong? That's funny. It was coming in from... So if north... Is that It would have been this. That's funny. So I would have had to come in from this side and this side. That's funny. All right, well, it just goes to show, you know, the way that it's organized and whatnot. Not only was the map not crossed, but I was looking at north the wrong way. So, whatever. I don't think it's going to change. It would change anything. I would have still landed in pretty much all the same spots. Yeah, it's really just the direction that the glider faces is the only difference. But otherwise, there's no reason not to take the buildings I took or go into the areas I took. Yeah. Anyways, I had fun. I hope you did too. And should be a solo game this Saturday. Hopefully, I'll get a game in, as Rootin will not be available. So until then, bye.